Hello, today we will learn how to add and subtract fractions. Let's see this example right here. When we have this 1/2 add by 1/3, the picture shows just like this. 1/2 is this same pizza. We'll treat this like our pizza we like. It's a pizza cut into 2 equal parts and you're taking one of those. It's called 1/2. And the other one is the same size pizza, but you are cutting it into 3 portions and you're taking one slice. That's called 1/3. When we are adding 1/2 and 1/3 together, can we just add the top 1 by 1 to be 2 and add the bottom 2 by 3 to be 5? So 1/2 plus 1/3 is 2/5. Is this correct? No. This picture can show you that's a very wrong idea. You can see they're not equal. So we have to remember when we add or subtract fractions, we can never just add the top by top and the bottom by bottom. Why can't we just add the top by top and the bottom by bottom? We have to start to understand what fraction really means. Fraction is a part of the whole thing. We call the top of a fraction the numerator. Numerator. We call the bottom denominator. Denominator. Numerator tells us how many slices we are taking from this cutted pizzas. So it goes by counting numbers like 1, 2, 3, and so on. The denominator tells us how many slices one whole pizza is cut into. So it goes by the ordinary numbers like first, second, third, fourth, and so on. Like this picture here. This picture shows a pizza is cut into 5 equal parts. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you are taking 2 of those slices. So we write it 2/5, but we read it as 2/5. F-I-F-T-H-S. This 2 is this top numerator. Tell us we take 2 slices. This 5th is an ordinary number. It's the denominator. It tells us the whole pizza is cut into 5 equal parts. Now, why can't we just add the top by top, bottom by bottom? It's because, look at the example here. This first pizza, you cut it into 2 slices. So you take 1 slice. So you said that's 1/2. And the second pizza, you cut it into 3 slices. You take 1 slice also. So that's 1/3. But how much pizza pizza did you actually eat? You cannot tell people, say, oh, I ate 2 slices. It's not that simple because these 2 slices are different size. When you say I eat 2 slices, you have to tell people how big each slice is. So you just have to cut both pieces the same way before you can say that. How do we cut them in the same way? You look at this picture. This first one was cut into 2 equal parts. But if you cut it this way, in other words, you multiply the top by 3, you multiply the bottom by 3, you make the bottom 6, and the top becomes 3. So it's 3, 6. So 1/2 equals to 3, 6. We learned this last time. We called it equivalent fractions. They have the same value. We do the same thing to this 1/3. We're going to recut it to be this way. So it is also cut into 6 equal portions. We just multiply the top by 2, multiply by 2 at the bottom. So it becomes 2, 6. Now, do you see both pizza are cut into 6 equal parts? Now they have the same cut. Look at all this picture. Each little slice is now with the same size. So we just count them together. We totally eat 5 slices. So we write the 5 over 6. That's 5, 6, 5, 6, SIXTHS. Okay, that means we actually eat 5 slices, and each slice is 1/6. So when we write 5 over 6, you read it as 5, 6, and the meaning of 5 over 6 is indeed 5 multiplied by 1/6. So you have 5 of those slices, and each slice is 1/6 of the pizza. And this same cut, we call it common denominator. This is a very, very important concept here. Common denominators means they have the same cut. So when we do add or subtract fractions, we just have to make them same cut first. So we have to do common denominator. Now, to do it algebraically, how do we add fractions? I'm showing you the process. If you are trying to add 1/2 by 1/3, you write it this way: 1/2 add 1/3. First thing, we have to make them common denominator. So it becomes, for 1/2, we multiply 3 to top, we multiply 3 to bottom to make it 3, 6. For 1/3, we make the top multiple by 2 and the bottom multiple by 2, so we get 2, 6. We need to make the denominator same. Now, we just write a very long line over 6. Then we add the top together, 3 plus 2. So the result is 5 over 6. We read it as 5, 6. Put an S there because it's more than 1. Okay, please remember, when we do adding, we never add the denominator together. Denominator is not for you to add together. You only keep the denominator common for all of those fractions. So that means they are all cut the same way. You only add the numerators, like this one. These are numerators after they have common denominators. That's how we do adding and subtraction. Subtraction is done the same way. It requires a common denominator first. Remember, one more time, never add the denominators together. Just make them common. That means same cut. Only add the numerators together after they have the same denominators. However, we have to remember, when we do multiply and divide, there is not a common denominator to be applied. Common denominator is required only for adding and subtracting fractions. It does not apply to multiply and divide. We will learn how to multiply and divide fractions in next class. Thank you and bye.